Hey, what is going on, Taurus? Butch here. I'm going to do your April read from now to the end of April. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I am using the Wild Reflections Tarot. And with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Taurus? What's going on for Taurus for April 2025? All right, Taurus. So the first thing I see is that this energy, this person that's around you, I feel like this is someone you've known for a while. I feel like you've had I feel like this is a friendship that you've had. With the Six of Cups, I feel like this is someone that you've known for a while. And someone you've been friends with. But I feel like you always saw potential in this person. I don't know. I feel like maybe when you first met this person, they weren't living up to their potential, but you always knew they had it. There's always something different about this person. And one thing about Taurus is they're so patient. I feel like you saw the potential in this person. You knew there was more. They had more in them. You knew they could be so much more. They weren't seeing it, and I feel like they weren't seeing it, but I feel like you even though they weren't seeing it, you still knew they were there. Your intuition was telling you this person is going to do great things. And I feel like there was always this attraction to this person, but never really followed through because of the fact that you were just letting them do them. Not just sitting by, not doing anything. That's not what a Taurus does. I feel like you were nurturing them. You were there for them. You were being patient with them. And in all that, I feel like you were inspiring them. Just giving them, showing up for them, giving to them. With that Ace of Wands, being inspiration. Even if you didn't know you were being inspiration, I just feel like you were just being you. But I feel like you're always in their corner. With the Six of Pentacles, giving to them, showing up for them, putting in the work. When a Taurus finds attraction, when they find someone that they are drawn to and attracted to, they can be patient. They're not the type that's going to jump in and just be rush, rush, rush. They build things. And they build things with patience. And I don't know why I keep saying patience, but I'm saying it. And like I said, what you thought was coming is now here. We have the World card. Everything come full circle. I feel like this person's finally on the same page. They're seeing it as well. I feel like they've been seeing it. And I mean, I feel like you've always kind of been building this foundation with this person. And now that things are starting to come around, this person's starting to see their true potential. They're starting to live their true potential. You start to see that you were absolutely right. You were right about them. You made the right call with that judgment. And the foundation you were building with this person started when you became friends. It started very early on. Maybe not the day you became friends, but I feel like it started very early on in the friendship. You knew that this person would be so much more than they were when you met them. Now, when it comes to them, I feel like this person, they're drawn to you. They always were. I feel like they were a little intimidated because like I said, they never really had their shit together. They weren't really, I feel like they weren't really sure what you saw in them, but they were always drawn to you and they knew what they saw in you. And like I said, I feel like everything that's coming for this person, everything that's happening for this person, all these, abundance that's coming for this person, I feel like a lot of big changes coming for this person, all of that, they can they can trace that right back to having you in their life. Not to say that you gave them it all, I just feel like you gave them the tools and you let them build it. And I feel like over this time frame that you were friends, I feel like you've been establishing trust with this person. I feel like you have a great connection, and I feel like it only gets better over time. And now that this person's finally seeing the results, it's kind of like going to the gym, and you go to the gym the first couple weeks and you're not seeing nothing and you want to quit. But then you got that gym friend that keeps making you go. And then one day you wake up and you look in the mirror and you're like, where did those muscles come from? Like I said, a huge victory coming here. I feel like this person's really, they turned a huge corner. And like I said, you played a part in that. Even when you met this person, I feel like this connection was real. I feel like you both knew it. I don't feel like they necessarily knew how you felt about them, but they knew you cared. And for some people, that's all it takes, having someone that cares. And I feel like their feelings for you have developed over time, stronger and stronger. And now, like, they're feeling more confident. Now they're getting their shit together. We have the King of Pentacles energy, that Taurus energy. This person's feeling like they're capable of doing anything. And now I feel like they start to see the true connection that they have with you. And they start to feel like you're equal. Like they feel like they're on the same page. Like I said, with that Seven of Pentacles, you're really building something. You've given them time. You've given them your time. And if a Taurus is giving you their time, that means a lot. Like I said, moving forward, I see like a strong connection developing into a strong union. I see the both of you coming together, and I feel like you're going to have a very, it's that power couple type energy. Like I said, they feel like they're getting on the same page. They feel like they can make you happy. And they know they can be happy with you. They just didn't feel like they could make you happy before. They weren't even sure what they were doing. I feel like they were just kind of all over the place, but you gave them a foundation. You gave them a home. And now you're reaping the benefits. And like I said, with the Knight of Cups, I feel like there is an offer coming. And with the Three of Pentacles is that power couple. This foundation was being laid long before maybe even either one of you knew it. But I see this moving forward, and I feel like a very loyal and strong connection between the two of you. And like I said, it's only getting better. There's a lot of big changes in this person. I've never seen so many big changes in this person, but like I said, having you in their corner made the difference. My Taurus friends, one thing that I absolutely love with my Taurus friends is the fact that they can make you just want to be better people. They just make it seem so easy and so achievable, but it isn't easy, but it is achievable. Like I said, I don't even know if you realize how much influence you had on this person, but I see this person wanting to share their hopes, their dreams, and their goals with you moving forward. You know what I mean? I feel like you made the right call on this person. Let me go back to victory with the Six of Wands. You know, everything came full circle here. What you saw came true. It came to fruition. And it's not even a manifestation. I'd like to call it that, but I don't feel like it is, because a manifestation is something that we do. You know, we manifest in our life. But you've manifested. It's almost like you rubbed off on this person. You know, it's like when you're young and your parents always tell you to make good friends and make good decisions and have good, people around you. You know, surround yourself with people you want to be like. And not to say this person wants to be like you, I just feel like they want to be able to be standing next to you, because that's what they want to do. They want to stand next to you. They want to move forward with you. I mean, there's huge changes here. You know, and I want to go back to this, the Seven of Pentacles, because I feel like it really kind of sums it all up. You know, being on the same page, but also, it's when I see the Seven of Pentacles, I always think of like the farmer. You know, the farmer plants the crops. The farmer takes care of the crops, and the farmer knows how to get the best out of it. You know, it's by putting in hard work, but being focused. And I feel like this is kind of what it was. I mean, I feel like now you're on the same page, and now you're going to build something great. But it was through patience. And I said it again. I mean, you have an incredibly strong bond with this person. That was evident very early on. But it's a lifelong bond. You know, I don't feel like you were ever meant to be just friends. I don't feel like when you met this person, they were necessarily ready to be more. But I see that happening now. I see this moving forward. Like I said with the Hierophant, I mean, it's that strong union. And we have the Knight of Cups as well, so I see a serious offer coming. And I feel like you're going to make each other very happy. You know, just surrounding yourself. And that's why Taurus are such good friends. That's why they make so many friends. Because people just want to be around. They gravitate to a Taurus. Anyway, we have Libra, Aquarius, Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. We have Cancer and Scorpio. We have a little bit of everything. I mean, we have some Sagittarius, some Leo. I don't have a lot of necessary celebrity role models, people that I look up to. You know, I mean, obviously I'm a fan. I have certain celebrities that I'm fans of. But I don't put too much interest in it. And I remember one time somebody asked me if I could meet any celebrity, who would I meet? And it's always been the same answer. And you may laugh at me. But he is a Taurus. It's The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. And I know some people laugh at me like, why would you want to meet a wrestler? That guy is so much more than a wrestler. He's an actor. He's an entrepreneur. You know, he was a wrestler. Yeah, he played football. Like, he's just driven. Like, it seems like everything he does, he excels. And you know, a lot of people out there has done a lot of things. But every time he seems to put out a new venture, he just excels at it. You know, it's inspirational to me. I feel inspired. I mean, he played football, you know, and even though I mean, he worked his ass out to get there, and then he started playing. Then he started in wrestling, and he changed for wrestling. Now I don't watch wrestling anymore because I realized it was when I realized it wasn't real. I was kind of out. But he changed it. I mean, he was electrifying. You know, as an actor, he's exceeded wrestlers that became actors. You know, before that we had like Hulk Hogan, which was a terrible actor. Not many have jumped into acting, and he took off. I mean, he became a superstar. You know, and then he made his tequila, and then he made energy drinks. You know, he makes his own pizzas. You know, he makes his own pancakes. I mean, it never stops. And the funny thing is too that I really enjoy is I watched this show one time, and he said no matter where he goes, he's in the gym every day. You know, and people like always want to say, "Oh, he's on steroids." No, the guy's just dedicated. You know, and I mean, he's always in the gym. You know, he's always taking care of himself. He's always eating healthy. I always watch on Sundays. That's another thing I don't really watch a lot of podcasts, but I watch his, and he's always eating his banana pancakes for his cheat meal. You know, and it's just like I said, if I got to meet someone, I want to meet him and pick his brain. You know, hoping it would rub off on me a little bit. Anyway, be good. Take care. Stay safe.